So, Capricorn, your weekly love tarot reading begins with the moon, lovers, Knight of Wands, and the Tower. Your person is coming in with Seven of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Seven of Wands, and we have an Eight of Swords. A lot of toxic energy there. Seven of Cups, unrealistic expectation, dreams, wishes that just aren't fulfilled. That there's no sign that they're going to become fulfilled. They just seem to be out of reach. Let's get right into your reading, Capricorn. How are you and your person in this love connection coming into this week? Well, you're coming in with moon energy and day Seven of Swords, so you are very confused right now. You're feeling like the energies and the vibes all around you aren't real. You're kind of like, you're not trusting it, who feels it knows it, right? And it's like what you're feeling coming at you doesn't seem to be genuine. Your person is coming in with a Seven of Swords, which is treachery, deceptive energy. You know what I mean? Like they are up to something. Seven of Swords is one of the darker cards in the tarot, and it really speaks to acting out of futility, you know, um, doing things to sort of achieve an end and always failing because of the way that you're doing things, because of the methods you're using, because they're inherently deceptive and underhanded, and so things don't ever seem to work out. So your person is coming in with some really shadowy energy this week. Let's clarify. Hierophant for you and for them. Six of Swords. So they're planning to make a retreat, perhaps an escape or move away, right? Listen, there's something going on here with them that seems very, very toxic. There seems as though they are keeping perhaps almost another life away. But let's look at your energy here. You're coming in with the moon and the Hierophant, right? So yeah, you're really kind of one of the reasons why you're feeling really unbalanced and unsure about everything that's going on is because it just doesn't sit right with who you are and what you know, right? There are certain things that and especially in this relationship, I feel like this is a very traditional relationship that you're having with this individual. And so the different thing, the activity that they're up to, some of this kind of underhanded scheming activity, you're seeing right through it. You're like, well, hang on a second, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? It's not like you're not seeing what's going on, and it's confusing to you. It's emotionally upsetting because you're seeing a side of your person that you haven't seen before. How do you guys see each other? Well, when you see them, they present themselves as lovers energy, right? They're coming at you. You're perceiving them as being all in and connected, and they're giving you certainly that impression that they are down, that they're here for you, that this is a balanced relationship. How do they see you? Well, they see that that you are someone who puts a lot of effort in. You're the type of person who puts your blood, sweat, and tears into everything that you do. You may have other things in your life that you're busy with, Capricorn. You may have other projects, uh, activities, work with maybe in a field that's really close to your heart. And so you put a lot of that into what you're doing. You put a lot of energy into that, and they see that, and it almost seems as though this is the source of some of their discontent. They may be quite jealous. They may either be quite jealous of you or jealous of the attention that you give to your work and perhaps not to them, which is causing them to act out, causing them to sort of be very emotional, I'm going to say, and dramatic. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. I'm not entirely sure that these activities, that this underhandedness that they're getting up to is really designed to be underhanded. It almost feels as though you're just dealing with someone who's very emotionally immature, and the way that they express their anger or their discontent is in a very sort of toxic way. But it doesn't feel as though they're purposely trying to be toxic to you or purposely trying to stab you in the back or betray you. It almost feels like this is just them acting out. Like, okay, like in a very childish, way without even understanding the consequences of their actions. Clarifying how you see each other. Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords. Yeah, you know, there's a clarity here in as much as that Ace of Swords is really going to come in and cut away some of this vagueness from the moon. It's going to bring some clarity, and you're going to really have an understanding that comes in. Boom, that kind of hits you about what is going on here. It may be something that happens or a conversation that you have, Capricorn, but in some way, shape, or form, you are going to get almost an epiphany and an understanding of why your person is acting this way. Your person, Queen of Swords energy, they too, through the same epiphany, I think they're going to come to a realization of what they're doing and why they're acting the way they're acting. I think they may wake up. This doesn't necessarily mean that they are completely a toxic, you know, it's just that in this instance, in this situation, they're acting very childish, right? They're acting extremely childish. And I think they ultimately, something happens here that really something happens in this connection coming up that really kind of shakes you both up. You become aware of what's happening and why, and they also become hyper aware of what they're doing and why. And I think you guys come to somewhat of an understanding, because how you see your roles in the relationship after that, you as Knight of Wands, you're kind of continue to be very enthusiastic and trying to push for, progress here. You're not giving up. You're still committed, right? You still want to move forward. And for them, also, Seven of Wands, they realize they have a lot of work to do, and they're willing to fight for it. And so whatever is going on here, it feels like it's a hiccup, but it doesn't feel like it is a major setback, right? It just feels like you guys are going through some growing pains. And most of the growing pains, wow, a couple of cards flipped over. And in fact, I'm looking for two cards. Most of the growing pains are to do with your person kind of growing up. Knight of Cups, Four of Wands. You guys both really, really realize how much you love each other. And you want to continue to move toward that. For them also, Four of Wands, there's a deep, deep abiding love here and a desire to move forward, right? There is a relief that comes in for them. Nevertheless, though, how do you guys end up? This is possible energies. Later on, there is a tower moment and your person feels extremely victimized once again. Something happens that really shakes everything up again. And I think at this point, your person, again, there's a chance that they may begin to sort of revert back to their old behaviors, right? So do watch out for that. And when I say old behavior, it's not that old. There is a realization that comes in here, and they do realize that they have to work for it, but the work takes time. And you know what I'm saying? And so very quickly after that, this event happens, this tower moment happens that that causes them to act again in a very sort of toxic way, to suddenly be like, well, I'm the victim, I'm the one, it's not my fault. Something comes out, I think, perhaps something that they've done over here that they didn't really realize the repercussions of. It comes out later on, and it comes out after you guys have kind of made up and agreed to do better. Boom, this comes out, and it almost feels like a setback. You know what I mean? It almost feels like a setback. But you have to be honest about the fact that whatever happens here feels very much like a repercussion or a consequence of behavior that your person took before they made this kind of shift. And so communicate here. You guys have to talk and communicate. Some of the dreams that you have for this connection are unrealistic for them to happen right now, because clearly there is some healing that needs to happen here for both of you. Let's move all of this down just a little bit so we can make room for your oracle cards. So, there is big healing that needs to happen here. And even though the realization has come in for the both of you that this needs to happen, it doesn't mean that it then just happens. It means that you guys are on the way. You're on the journey. It will happen eventually, but the work still has to be put in. I always talk about this in my readings on my channel about the work. The work is necessary. You can have all the realizations in the world, but after the realization, after the epiphany, after the understanding, after the breakthrough, always comes the work. And a lot of people forget that, and they forget that now is, they feel like, oh, okay, they've reached it because they've understood something. No, it isn't until you put the effort and the work in that the true understanding and wisdom comes in. Spirit of the sun, Spirit of the ring, wow, and Spirit of Gaia. So, Spirit of the sun, energy, vitality, resurrection. Yes, there is a resurrection here for this relationship, but again, work is going to be involved and communication and understanding. Spirit of the ring, the contract, the commitment, the promise. Maintain your focus on what's important, and that is, in fact, very important. And Spirit of Gaia, Mother Earth, creation, family. These are really strong, powerful energies, positive energies that are working with you and working with you and your person as you go through this difficult period, as you both sort of try to help each other through toxicity. Remember, the most important thing here is to not be set back by this tower event. You have frog spirit clearing out the clutter. This tower event could be that, in fact. And mouse spirit, tend to the small things. Clearing out the clutter and tending to the small things. Take a look at these beautiful spirit animals. Or animal spirits, right? Yeah, tend to the small things. It's the little things that are important. It's the details that are important. Okay. And clearing out the clutter. This tower event will indeed clear out some clutter, and it's going to help you guys cleanse this relationship a little bit and really fully start anew in a new way. Again, as I say, just because the clarity and the inspiration and the awareness has come in, there is still a lot of exercising of darkness that needs to happen here, exercising of toxic behavior. And there's still work that's needs to going to be put in here. A lot of communication because, you're dealing with somebody here who, in this regard, and with this issue that you guys are having specifically, their jealousy over your work and the effort that you're putting in somewhere else in your life, this particular issue is going to require some time and some effort for you both to get over. And I would hazard to say that your person may indeed have to also work on getting a life, because it seems to be your time and commitment to your life is really what's bothering them the most. And so there's a deeper issue with your person, which we won't cover in this reading, but which I think is going to be exposed once again by this tower moment. All right, Capricorn, this was your reading, your weekly love tarot reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do remember that this could be vice versa and that not all readings are going to resonate for all people. Also, if you enjoy my readings, if you got something out of it, please go ahead and hit that like button. Perhaps consider subscribing or leaving a comment for the collective. All of those actions really help me out. That's a way to support my channel. It helps my content get out to more people. And I do appreciate when you take the time to do that. But for right now, Capricorn and Capricorn cross watchers, I wish you love, life, and happiness. And I hope to see you guys next Thursday right here on my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for your weekly love tarot reading. Bye-bye now.